we? Oh yeah, I forget it was this one. Okay, well, you might not be able to hear it now, but this is the Modern Warfare. Dude, seriously? No way. No. I'm not staying in the game that I just got team killed. How gay is that guy? How gay? Like, he did it for no reason. They did not do not one thing to that guy. And heck out, man. But where is my phone at? My phone's lost. My phone's lost. Now it's found. Okay. No, don't turn off. No, I save you. You're the messenger. Oh man, I think I'm gonna be on the team to the left, even though I'm garbage at this game. So I'm going to be using this, and I was right. I can hear it. Ready? Dang it. Okay. Well. Yeah. Probably should have moved. Or started jumping. When out of the tour. Ten abnormally sized animals. Oh my goodness.
Human beings share this planet with some pretty interesting creatures. We have strange hybrid creatures, teeny tiny creatures, and even gigantic creatures. The closer they get to the surface. These ribbon-like fish feed on krill and other small crustaceans, but have also been known to eat small fish and squid. They are not considered dangerous to humans despite their large size. Capybara. Looking like a giant guinea pig, the capybara is actually the world's largest rodent. Native to South America, the capybara can grow to 5 feet in length and weigh over 230 pounds. They live in dense forests and savannas, but always near water. They are highly social creatures and can be found living in groups of up to 100 capybara. They are herbivores, so their diets consist of aquatic plants, tree bark, grass, and fruit. They can live up to 10 years and are even kept as pets in some parts of the world, even in the U.S. 22 feet long. The elephant seal gets its name from their great size and the male's large, elongated noses. They use these impressive snouts to make extremely loud roaring noises. They happen to be loudest during mating season when males try to establish their own harem of females. They eat fish and squid, so they need to dive for their dinner. Southern elephant seals are able to stay underwater for 2 or more hours at a time in search of food. There are roughly 700,000 of them, currently living in different areas of the world.
Alright, well, I'm going to get a gun. I am better with.
We think of small, cotton-tailed bunnies munching happily on a Carrot. The Flemish giant, however, certainly lives up to its name. These domestic rabbits can weigh up to 22 pounds and grow to be 2.5 feet long. They were originally bred for their fur and meat, but have also evolved into pets. Their average lifespan is 8 to 10 years. They have a very docile nature, meaning they don't seem to mind being handled. Saltwater crocodile. Reaching up to 23 feet in length, the saltwater crocodile is the largest living reptile on the planet. These gigantic carnivores look like they could be living dinosaurs. They primarily live in swamps, lagoons, mangroves, and rivers, among other waterways. Due to their aggressive nature, size, and habitat, the saltwater crocodile can be very dangerous to humans. They're not very picky when it comes to their food, either. Saltwater crocodiles have been known to eat fish, birds, other reptiles, and even large mammals. They hunt by ambushing, then dragging their prey into the water to drown and crush them. Goliath bird eater. Known as the largest spider in the world.
Hi, you've been getting high. Well, maybe a little bit. I don't want to lie. Okay, so what I'm thinking is going to camp right here and watch the video.
The Goliath bird eater is a tarantula. Despite having a shorter leg span than the giant huntsman spider, it has a larger body size and mass. They were named bird eater because of a depiction, but they rarely ever prey on adult birds. They can be found in northern Brazil, southern Venezuela, and the Amazon rainforest. They are a terrestrial spider, meaning they live in deep burrows underground rather than a web. They also happen to be nocturnal. Their diet consists of toads, earthworms, lizards, small rodents, and even snakes. Ocean sunfish. Also known as the common mola, the ocean sunfish is the heaviest known bony fish in the world. They can weigh over 2,200 pounds and can reach a length of 10 feet. The average ocean sunfish is nearly 6 feet in length, but they are largely harmless. They primarily eat jellyfish and squid and are not dangerous to humans unless they accidentally swim into a boat. In captivity, they can live up to 10 years, but their lifespan in their natural habitat has yet to be recorded. They can be found in tropical and temperate waters such as the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Giant golden-crowned flying fox. Its name is a little misleading, but the giant golden-crowned flying fox is one of the world's largest bats. Known as a megabat, the golden-crowned flying fox is an endangered species that feeds on fruit. They are native to the forests and caves of the Philippines, and these giant bats can have a wingspan of nearly 6 feet, but only weigh under 3 pounds. Despite their frightening size, these creatures are relatively harmless to humans. They are non-aggressive, but can carry deadly diseases. They get their name from the golden fur around their necks, which is in sharp contrast to their black bodies. Blue whale. Found in nearly every ocean, the blue whale is the largest animal in the world. These marine mammals can grow to nearly 100 feet in length and weigh upwards of 173 tons. Despite their large size, these gentle giants eat only krill, one of the smallest shrimp-like invertebrates. Blue whales communicate by singing to each other, and their voices can be heard for miles. They are solitary creatures and only gather together during mating season. Blue whales also have human-like lifespans, meaning they can live to 90 years old in the wild. They are considered an endangered species. Today, there are only about 10,000 to 25,000 blue whales left in the world due to overfishing and illegal whaling. Barnsford Fernie, the giant bull. While your average Charolais cattle can weigh up to 2,400 pounds, one English bull makes those all look like tiny calves. Barnsford Fernie of Stockholm holds the title of Britain's biggest bovine. Unlike the other animals on this list, Barnsford is one of a kind. He stands at 7 feet tall and weighs 2 tons. That means he weighs the same as an adult hippopotamus. His owner, Charlie Bowden, says he doesn't feed Barnsford anything special. He also says the bovine is very gentle despite his size. Can't get enough? Want to see more ridiculously large animals that really exist?
Boom, change, the boom, change, boom, boom,
Going to
change,
prison
change,
isn't what
change.
most of us plan for, and if we are inmates, the first thing we want is freedom. Some prisoners will go to extreme measures to make sure that happens. Here are 10 craziest prison escapes of all time. Jack Shepherd. In 1723, Jack Shepherd was originally going to become a carpenter, but he decided to start stealing and becoming a burglar to pay his bills. In just a span of 1 year in 1724, Shepherd was arrested 5 times and managed to escape 4 times. It is even likely that he invented the trick of tying bed sheets out of the window. He was also very charismatic and started to attract crowds, thus becoming a small-scale celebrity. With each capture, the chains became heavier and the locks were stronger, but they didn't hold Shepherd back. Eventually, he was captured and hung in November 1724, and the crowd that came to watch the hanging prevented his friends from retrieving his body so they could take him to a doctor to be revived. Yes, he even had an escape plan from death. John Dillinger. John Dillinger was known to the FBI as public enemy number 1, who had a life dedicated to crime. He is known as one of the most notorious bank robbers of our time. He and his gang went on a robbery spree in the Midwest, robbing banks and even a few police stations. He was eventually put into prison in January 1934 in the escape-proof Lake County Jail in Crown Point, Indiana. However, on March 3rd, 1934, Dillinger and an inmate used a fake gun carved out of wood and painted with shoe polish and forced his way out of prison. Sheriff's new V8 Ford as his getaway car. Freedom didn't last for long, though, as Dillinger was shot dead by the FBI a year later.
Dang, he got shot and killed. Not me. Goodness gracious. Bro, he wasn't there.
Our UAV is online.
One more. If this guy clutches this.
Good job, team.
Oh,
Now, get ready for
did he
the
kill
next
himself? G3 is good. You know, isn't the gun I'm trying to use right now?
switching sides.
Hell no, I'm trying to use it M4 right now, but I was trying. No, that was MP5. No, yeah, it was. So stupid.
The bomb has been planted.
No.
Frank Lee Morris and John and Clarence England. Alcatraz was known as one of the most isolated prisons in the world, and it was considered to be impossible to escape it, as it was a lonely rock in the middle of the San Francisco Bay. However, on June 11, 1962, Frank Lee Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin devised an ingenious plan to escape from the rock. Over the course of a year, the three inmates used tools to dig a tunnel in the adjacent walls that led into an unused surface corridor. Then they climbed a ventilation shaft to the roof. Then they made a raft out of raincoats and contact cement from the prison's supply cache. After filling the raft with air, they left Alcatraz around 10 p.m. To make it seem like they were still in their cells, the inmates made fake heads out of hair, soap, and toilet paper so the guards would think they were sleeping. It wasn't until the next morning when the guards realized what happened. Morris and the Anglins were never found or heard from again. The FBI investigated for 17 years before concluding the three men likely drowned. Frank Abagnale. The name probably sounds familiar, as Leonardo DiCaprio played Frank Abagnale in the movie Catch Me If You Can. The real-life Frank was a world-renowned con artist. In 1971, U.S. prisons were being evaluated due to numerous civil rights violations. It just so happened that the U.S. Marshal forgot his prison detention papers when Abagnale arrived in Atlanta, Georgia. The guards thought Abagnale was an undercover inspector, and he played it off. He was given special privileges, better meals, and awesome treatment. Then he got his friend Gene Sebring to doctor business cards to make it look like they were from the government. Posing as Abagnale's fiancée, she slipped him both cards, one for himself and the other for a fake FBI agent whose number went to a payphone in Atlanta that was picked up by Sebring. Abagnale put on a story of how he needed to get in touch with the FBI.
Search and destroy. Defend the objective.
Boy.
For both cards to the guards and arranged for Sebring to pick him up from the front door of the prison. Meanwhile, the guards were patting themselves on the back, thinking that they weren't fooled by the faux prison inspector. Mountjoy Prison helicopter escape. On October 31st, 1973, three members of the Provisional Irish Republican Army, J.B. O'Hagan, Seamus Toomey, and Kevin Mallon, had an escape worthy of a scene from a movie. While serving time at Mountjoy Prison, the IRA was making plans to bust out their three members. They hijacked an Alouette 2 helicopter from a town called Stradbally in Countless, Ireland. Armed men from the IRA forced the pilot to fly to the prison and land in the exercise yard. From there, the helicopter flew to Baldoyle Racecourse, where the men got into a car and headed to Dublin. The escape was seen as an embarrassment to the Irish prison system, and a song was even written about it by the Wolf Tones called the Helicopter Song. Andrew Roger, Keith Rose, and Matthew Williams. Andrew Roger, Keith Rose, and Matthew Williams made history in 1995 after they pretty much just walked out the Parkhurst prison in the United Kingdom. They worked in the prison's sheet metal shop and managed to make all the tools they needed for their escape. They made a 25-foot steel ladder to help them scale the fence, as well as unlock every door in the prison. How did they manage that? They were able to carve the key out from memory after seeing a guard's key. They also made a gun. They unlocked the back door of the gym, cut a hole in the inner gate, and scaled the outer fence. They were caught 4 days later hiding in a shed, and they were trying to plot out a plan to steal an airplane. The Texas 7. In December 2000,
This game is going to start confusing me in a second.
Enemy UAV is airborne.
Alright, you know what? I'm stopping. Hang on, I got 2 messages. I didn't even know that.